A new video. This is gonna be more of a historical twist, so if you don't know this shit, then sucks for you.
Caesar, destroyer of the Roman Republic, stabbed 23 times, the guy other guys compare themselves
The Roman Republic wasn't abolished until 27 BC.
to when they want to look tough. Yeah, okay, we get it. He did some stuff, but he was
Julius Caesar was the original bad boy.
only 1/3 of a triumvirate, and you know who else was doing stuff at the end of the Republic? Pompey, thrower
Yeah, that's a completely different guy. Sorry guys, we weren't gonna learn about Caesar. We're gonna learn about Pompey. Which, so few people actually know about Pompey, it's actually quite insane. Like, everyone knows how they betrayed Caesar, but almost nobody knows that Pompey killed himself with Cleopatra, so...
of parties, marrier of daughters, general of everywhere Caesar wasn't, and overachiever extraordinaire. Roll the intro. Sorry, Crassus, maybe another time. Be seeing you, buddy. Right. Pompey, I'm not 100% sure
Nobody cares about Nobody cares about Crassus.
that isn't a bust of Mel Brooks. Pompey isn't exactly a rags to riches, sweat of his brow kind of guy. His father was a second-class citizen who served as a consul with a reputation for greed and ruthlessness and double-crossing, a lot like Pompey, actually. Yeah, second-class sounds modest until you realize
Like
Rome
father, like son.
had quite a few classes. You see, at the end of the Republic, Rome was not looking so
I'm
hot.
not
Violence had
surprised,
become an essential
honestly.
element of politics decades before. Rome was fighting war after war with Greece and Italy and itself. Marius and Sulla were doing the whole two great men duke it out thing before it was cool. Pompeius Sr. actually died in the siege of Rome, and Pompey got held accountable for his dad maybe stealing some public property, standard politician stuff. But darned if Pompey
No
didn't know how to
wonder.
make the best of a bad situation.
That's quite innocent for a politician. Politicians in real life are like some real awful people.
Judge found him so charming that he didn't just let him off the hook, he straight up gave him his daughter. Now this was all well and good for Pompey, but then Marius and Sulla started another civil war.
It's Rome. Straight up fucking Rome. And this judge is so flattered by this charming man. He not only lets him off the hook, he also gives him his daughter. His own daughter. Why would he entrust his daughter with the son of a man who's known for stealing public property? Wait, how did he let him off the hook if his father was responsible for the crimes? Did he just testify in favor of his father? Did he just testify for his father?
Pompey took 3 legions and marched on Rome from the north, while Sulla came in from the south, and Sulla was so thrilled he gave him his stepdaughter and the title Pompey the Great. To be fair, though, it's a lot easier to be known as the Great with a name like Pompey. And it's not too long before Pompey's true colors begin to show. While Sulla was basking in the glory of the dictatorship and setting dangerous precedents, Pompey was sent to
So another guy gave him his daughter. Why are people obsessed with giving charming people their own daughters?
face the last of the Marians to the ends of the earth. The ends of the Roman earth, at least, meaning he ran them out of Sicily and then squashed a rebellion in northern Africa. But the turnaround time was pretty remarkable. Pompey certainly thought so he went to ask Sulla, "Hey, can I throw a triumph? You did good, kid, but we only do that kind of thing for consuls and praetors. Come on, I'm hot stuff, you're old news, what are you gonna do, kill me? Well, no, but alright, throwing a triumph. Pompey!" So Pompey
Also, I just noticed that statue of Marius, I think, doesn't have his nose on. What's the deal with that?
rode into Rome on a chariot driven by elephants that couldn't fit through the city gate, so he tried to awkwardly switch to horses,
Yeah, of
presumably while
course.
everybody was watching. He continued to push Sulla's buttons until the day he died. Needless to say, he
No,
was
that guy was Sulla, not Marius.
not mentioned in the will. The next 18 years were more of the same. Pompey fought a war in Spain, got another triumph, became consul at the age of 35, even though he'd never held public office and was still illegally young, fought a war against pirates, fought a war in the Black Sea, conquered
Pirates? Pirates? What kind of pirates? Like, there could be Gaulish pirates, Spanish pirates, North African pirates. Heck, there could even be Jewish pirates. Of course, it's not off the table. We all know what Jewish people are like and what they seek to achieve.
Syria, turned Judea into a client kingdom, which would never come back to bite the Romans. Hell, he liberated some city-states in Palestine so hard that they restructured their calendars to start at 0 PE, Pompeian era, and they kept them that way for 600 or 700 years, even though Jesus was right next door. So
dude, Pompey. Pompey is so fucking. Pompey is so inamorable, because I forgot the term I originally wanted to say, that two different guys, not only two different guys gave him their daughters, they also restructured an entire fucking calendar after him, and it wouldn't change until around the times of Muhammad. So, fun times, I guess.
Basically, I could make videos about Pompey for the rest of the year, and we'd still never get to the triumvirate, but that's the climax of the story, so we're just gonna skip the first few acts. So after Pompey returned to Rome, and, wait for it, threw himself the biggest, most elaborate triumph Rome had ever seen to celebrate his 45th birthday, he and Caesar noticed something.
That's a real massive birthday party. And not once did they think of giving him one of those bouncy castles. Real mean people the Romans were.
They were both powerful men who wanted to be more powerful men. With Pompey's popularity and Caesar's cunning.
Dude, doesn't every politician want to become more powerful? They have that mindset, so that's what they aspire for.
There was nothing to stop them, so they formed an alliance, and then Caesar added Crassus to the group because he was more or less the richest man to have ever lived. Absolute rulers aside, everything was great. Caesar got a turn as consul, Pompey and Crassus got turns as consuls, Pompey even got Caesar's daughter Julia to be his next trophy wife, but he started to notice something. Caesar was getting awfully popular after conquering Gaul. And he was definitely sporting a bigger army after Pompey lent him a legion or two. And then Julia died, so Caesar wasn't Pompey's father-in-law anymore. Don't worry, he found a new 20-year-old to marry. Suddenly, Caesar lost the election for consul to two of his arch-nemeses. People are trying to disarm Pompey and Caesar, but you've got to get both of them to do it at the same time, or else the other one's going to take absolute power, but they're both armed, and Pompey's army is right here in the city. Maybe Pompey should be the only consul, and what do you mean Caesar's crossed the Rubicon already? So here's the deal. Pompey gets out of there because things are going from zero...
Pompey wasn't the guy from Octavian. He was the guy from Caesar's days, so in other words... I fucked up badly at the beginning. When I was saying all that shit at the very beginning. I fucked up, guys. I really fucked up.
100 real fast. He can't go to Spain, so he goes to Greece and takes the Senate with him because he's basically in charge of the whole East. He gives Bibulus, former consul and governor of Syria, a fleet with which to guard the Adriatic Sea while he collects himself and gathers soldiers and taxes. But Bibulus figures that it's winter and nobody's gonna go sailing in winter, especially not the Romans. Their most brilliant naval strategy is to just ram the other guy's ship and fight like they're on land. It'll be fine. So he docks his ships far away and Caesar gets half his ships across before Bibulus has time to react. And come on, Bibulus, you had one job! Oh well. At least this will be exciting to watch because the stage has been set for the clash between the two greatest generals of the age, like watching a couple of superheroes who used to be good friends become driven to fight each other due to, oh, wait a minute, I've made that reference before. But Pompey's got the numbers. He's got the supplies, he's got the home field advantage, and he's got Caesar right where he wants him. But Caesar's got Caesar. And then this happens.
Overly lucky.
Thus, Pompey finds himself in the shoes of those last Arians all those years ago, being chased to the ends of the earth. In this case, meaning Egypt, where he was betrayed and stabbed to death, like a certain other triumvir I know of. Caesar arrived 2 days later and said, Jesus, dude, I wanted him to surrender, not kill him. What is wrong with you? But he really hit it off with Cleopatra, so I guess all's well that ends well. So you might say Pompey was a bit of a...
Overlift. Now, I'm not really that tired.